Hey, what's good? It's Big Phil from Big Phil Speaks. I wanted to touch bases on this new controversial video by the artist Glasses Malone called Tupac Must Die. I might have the title wrong on that, but and his subsequent comments on the Breakfast Club about that Snoop Dogg back at that time was bigger than Pac when Pac got to Deathrow. Let me first say this. The video itself is a creative masterpiece. Hats off to the homie for that. Hats off to you, Glasses Malone. However, the content, what it depicts and what it's about, being somebody that's supposed to be from the street, you should know that certain things should be left alone. Especially with all the people that have died, gone to jail, et cetera, over that situation and situations surrounding that. Some things are better left alone. You know, all dollars ain't a good. All money ain't good money. That's how the saying goes. Now, the putting it out now, and in the subsequent comments you made about Snoop Dogg being bigger than Pac at the time Pac came to Death Row. Not sure what your play is on that. I don't know if it's promotion for you. I don't know if it's promotion for Crippin'. Combination of the two. I don't know. If it is one of the previous two, I guess that's genius, because you're getting a lot of dialogue, a lot of conversation. But the fact of the matter is, your statement bullshit, homie. You obviously didn't do your homework. You went off what somebody done told you or what you thought it was, but you didn't do your homework. Before I made this video, I jotted down a little bit of info so that I could be correct on some things, so that I wouldn't just be spewing off what I done heard or going off what somebody else done told me. Let's go to the tails of the tape. I'm gonna start with Snoop. Salute to you, Snoop. This is no disrespect to you. You are one of the most prolific West Coast MCs that have been around. And you put it down for the West, held the West down, and have earned a Godfather title for the West Coast. Snoop's introduction into the game, outside of whatever he was doing in Long Beach or et cetera, came in '92 under the hit called Deep Cover. Under that single, Deep Cover, 92. Keep that number in mind, 92. Then turned around and really laid a lot of the groundwork for the iconic historical Dr. Dre album called The Chronic. But The Chronic is a compilation album with a lot of other supporting cast, Dash, Corrupt, Lady of Rage, RBX, DOC. I think Sam Snead might have been on that one. I could be wrong on that. But other artists as well. Then in '93, you dropped your own joint. Snoop dropped his own joint, Doggy Style. The iconic, worldwide known Doggy Style. That got a plethora of hits on it. But again, it's much like Chronic. It's much like they should have titled it Chronic 2, because you got damn near the same lineup that was on the first album on Dr. Dre's Chronic on his album. A gang of features, and it's cool. That's cool. The classics. Can't take that away from Snoop by leaps and can't take that away from him for nothing. Then in '94. While facing, his situation, that murder case, they came up with the brilliant idea to do the short film and little soundtrack to it called Murder Was the Case. I can much relate. That was brilliant. That was as brilliant as your Glasses Malone as your new video, to be honest. After that, he dropped The Dog Father. And I'm going to stop there because he's had many albums out after that. But we're going to stop there because, as we all know, Tupac passed in 96. So we're going to stay there with it. But The Dog Father wasn't Doggy Style by a landslide. Doggy Style was here. Dog Father was like maybe here. Now there's many records that's been sold off of Snoop's catalog and appearances from '92 to '96. But and also Snoop along the way has gotten guest appearances on different TV shows, most notably Martin, to name one. But let's talk about Pac now. Pac's first introduction to the game was somewhere in between 90 and 91 when he joined Digital Underground and shined brighter than a diamond on that song, Same Song. Everybody remembers Pac's verse on that song. And that was his introduction to the game. He followed up in 91 with Tupacalypse Now. An underground banger. They had Trapped. It had If My Homies Call. And it had I ain't gonna say controversial, but the conversation creating song Brenda's Got a Baby, dealing with teenage pregnancy as well as other issues in the hood. Molestation, child molestation, etc., etc. Groundbreaking song. Phenomenal song. To be honest, it was that song and Soldier's Story that I got people in DC hooked on Pop. Because a lot of folks wasn't checking for him till I played them two songs and like all my homies uptown was like, yeah, that's that. And they started listening to it, listen to everything else that was on that CD. Back then, cassette. Okay, you could say that album did okay. All right, but that's 91. That's a year before. That was a year before Snoop's deep cover intro into the world. Okay, but it's something that the 1991 album did for Pop that I'm gonna get into in a minute that made him a little bit bigger than Snoop at the time. In '93, he came back with his second solo effort called Strictly for My Niggas. He had the song Holla If You Hear Me, Papa's song, which was a deep joint, the party anthem I Get Around, and an ode to black women, well, women across the world, but mainly black women. Keep Your Head Up. That song alone did numbers. That was 93. Now, 95 was pivotal. Because by then he done got in trouble, you know what I'm saying, for shooting that trouble and exonerated for some things. Shooting at two police officers off duty police officers in plain clothes that were shooting at other people, that doing people wrong. He caught a sexual assault case. We all know what that was about. I ain't gonna go into that. But he dropped another phenomenal body of work called Me Against the World. 1995, Me Against the World, which included the song that was the title track, Me Against the World. The song So Many Tears, Temptations, and then the next worldwide smasher, the anthem for every mother on Mother's Day, Dear Mama. They're still doing numbers, still getting spent on airwaves. That's all before Deathrow. We're not even gonna talk about when he got to Deathrow, All Eyes on Me, and yada yada yada. And now, let this be known. Yes, Snoop might have been instrumental in Pac getting to Deathrow, putting a bug in Sugar, but it seemed like the bug was already half there, because also Tupac was on the soundtrack for the Above the Rim soundtrack, which Deathrow had the whole soundtrack. Which gets me to the next part that really closes the door on this argument about who was bigger and who had a greater impact at that time. Tupac, with just having the same song from Digital Underground and his first CD or record and cassette back then, Tupacalypse Now, got him the critically acclaimed role of Bishop in Juice. That was in '92. The pivotal and unforgettable role in Poetic Justice. That's '93. These are movies. The phenomenal gangster role or thugged out street role of Bird or Birdie in Above the Rim, and that was '94. We're not going to even talk about the fact that he was basically supposed to play Kane in Minister to Society, but had drama and beef with the Hutland brothers. I think it was one other movie he was supposed to be in. That's all before Deathrow. All before Deathrow. Snoop wasn't in their movie, to my recollection, especially not in no impactful role back then. I take that back. In his mini film, Murder Was the Case. But by then, Pac has had, 1, 2, 3 definite banger movies, blockbuster movies, and then the ones he's supposed to have been in but didn't get a chance to do because of this or that and the third. All before Deathrow. So Glasses Malone, let me say this, young brother. Like I said, I don't know if this is a play to reposition Crip. I don't know if this is a play to reposition you. Hats off to you, because you sparking conversation. That's for sure. Hats off to you, for our ultra creative video to dig into perception, maybe not the popular perception, the popular perspective of that whole situation in Vegas. Hats off to you. And I hope that you catapult from this into higher heights, because this should open a lot of doors for you. But you talking about Snoop was bigger than Pac at that time? Nah, sir. Pac did numbers. Pac was featured in way more. Oh, and remember how I said Snoop was on TV, Pac on guest roles. Snoop was in guest appearances such as Martin. Tupac was too. Fresh Prince. Not Fresh Prince. A Different World, and different other things. And we're not gonna get on the movies that he did after getting on Deathrow. All this in a span of, 5 to 6 years. Snoop has gone on to have a career that's stood the test of time, which makes him an iconic legend for West Coast rap and rap in general. Salute to you again, Snoop. This is not no diss or take away from you, because nobody can take away nothing you've done for rap and in your own personal career. However, the truth is what the truth is. And you, by far, my brother, were not there yet of your own accord. Let me say that much. Now, if you agree with me or you disagree with me, throw something in the comment. It's up for debate. This is my opinion. This is my 7 cents. You dig? You can have your own. I'm not gonna knock you either way, but at least I'm coming with facts, documented facts. Don't just come with a mouthpiece. Let's talk about it. If you're new to this video or new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. We're gonna get into some things. We're gonna get into some issues. We're gonna get into some issues and topics that are pertinent to our community. I'm gonna be reviewing some things. I'm gonna be supporting real talent, showcasing real talent. We're gonna do it different over here. We're not just gonna give you just celebrity news and gossip, but we're gonna get into stuff that means something and should mean something to our community. Because I'm a firm believer, before we can correct what other people are doing wrong, we got to start in our own backyard. So if you would, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, bling. Drop a like for this video, boop up. Yeah. Drop a comment or two. Let's have a tete-a-tete. Let's have a diatribe. Let's talk about it. And I'm famous for this. I'm not anti-you. I'm just pro-me, with an emphasis on building we. So let that marinate into your melon to the next time we talk about it and have a tete-a-tete. And on that note, I holla.